Ever heard of Karl von Clausewitz? He wrote the book on war. Literally, it's called On War. And even though it's almost 200 years old, it's still one of the most important texts on military strategy ever written. So you gotta ask, right? How did this book become the absolute cornerstone of how we think about war today? Well, that's what we're gonna dig into.
Okay, so to really get why Clausewitz was such a game changer, you have to know what military writing was like before him. And honestly, they were basically cookery books. Seriously, they were stuffed with these super rigid, step-by-step instructions for every possible scenario. Things like, here's exactly how to appoint a captain, or you must dig a trench at this precise angle. They were trying to treat war like it was some kind of predictable science you could just follow a recipe for.
But Clausewitz, he just tossed that whole idea out the window. He wasn't about to write another checklist. No way. His goal was way, way bigger. He wanted to understand the phenomenon of war itself. You know, the messy human stuff, the psychology, the politics, the raw emotion of it. So his book isn't a how-to guide for the battlefield. It's more like a guide for self-education, a way to teach yourself how to think about war. So that brings us right back to the big question, doesn't it? How did this really dense, philosophical book, one that gives you zero easy answers, become the go-to text for pretty much everyone who deals with conflict? Soldiers, strategists, world leaders, you name it. Well, the answer really starts with the guy who wrote it. Yeah, Clausewitz wasn't some professor just thinking about war from a comfy office. His ideas were born in the middle of a firestorm, forged in the absolute chaos of the Napoleonic Wars, which were, at the time, the most brutal conflicts Europe had ever seen. I mean, get this. The guy joined the army as a cadet when he was just 11 years old. 11. He was there to see his own Prussian army get completely crushed by Napoleon. He even ended up serving with the Prussians to fight against Napoleon's invasion. His entire life was the battlefield. He wasn't just studying war from a distance, he was living it, breathing it. And this was a whole new kind of war. Not just little squabbles between kings, but total, all-out conflict that could break entire nations. And after living through all that chaos and violence, it led him to his first, and maybe his most important, groundbreaking idea. He completely redefined what war even is. He uses this great analogy. Think about two wrestlers, right? They're grappling, using all their strength. But it's not just random violence. Each one is trying to force the other to do what they want, to submit. It's a contest of wills. And for Clausewitz, that's the essence of war. It's a duel, just on a massive scale. And this is where we get his famous definition. He says the real goal of war isn't just, destroying the enemy's army or grabbing a piece of land. No, the real goal is psychological. It's about breaking the other side's will to even keep fighting. You want to make them say, okay, you win, we'll do what you want. All the fighting, that's just the tool you use to get to that point. And that brings us to maybe the most famous line he ever wrote, and one that people get wrong all the time. War is merely the continuation of policy by other means. Now, what he's saying here is huge. It means war isn't the opposite of politics. It's not what happens when diplomacy breaks down. It is politics. It's just another tool in the political toolbox. Think of it like this. The political goal, that's the why. Why are we even fighting? The military campaign, that's the how. How are we going to win? And for Clausewitz, this was non-negotiable. The why always has to be in charge of the how. If you have military action without a clear political reason behind it, it's not war, it's just pointless violence. And that idea, that was totally radical. It tied what happens on the battlefield directly to what the politicians were trying to accomplish. But Clausewitz knew it wasn't quite that simple. War isn't just a clean political equation. It's messy, it's unpredictable. So to help us get a handle on its true nature, he came up with this brilliant analytical tool. He called it the Remarkable Trinity. His argument was that any war, doesn't matter when or where, is shaped by three powerful forces, all pulling at the same time. And he called it a paradoxical trinity because these forces are usually at odds with each other. They're constantly in tension. So what are these three forces? Okay, first, you've got passion. This is the raw emotion, the hatred, the violence that comes from the people themselves. Second, you have chance. This is the world of the military, where things are unpredictable. It's luck, it's fog. It's the creative genius of a commander. And third, there's reason. This is the government's corner, the logical, calculating part that uses war to achieve a political goal. So picture these three things: passion, chance, and reason.
like three powerful magnets, and every war is sitting in the middle. Each magnet is pulling the conflict in its own direction. If the passion magnet is strongest, you get these incredibly brutal total wars. If the reason magnet is in control, you get a more limited, calculated conflict. And the unique mix of these three forces is what makes every single war in history completely different from any other.
Okay, so with all these deep philosophical ideas, let's circle back to where we started. Why is Clausewitz still so important? Why are we still talking about him today? Well, for one, his book is basically required reading for anyone in the business of strategy. We're talking military colleges from West Point here in the US all the way to Beijing. For generations, strategists, generals, presidents, they've all used On War to make sense of conflict, whether it was during the Cold War or in the complex world we live in now. But here's where it gets really interesting. The true genius of his work isn't just that it helps people wage war. It actually has a totally surprising, kind of counterintuitive use as well. It turns out that the man who literally wrote the book On War also gave us some of the best tools for people who want to prevent war. So, how on earth does that work? Well, it's actually pretty simple and pretty profound. Clausewitz makes you look war straight in the eye. He forces you to see it for what it is. Not some simple board game, but an incredibly dangerous and serious tool of politics, one that's fueled by real human hatred and can be thrown off course by pure luck. And his point is, if you ever want to control war, or limit it, or maybe even stop it from happening, you first have to be brutally honest about what it is you're trying to control. And that's the thought I want to leave you with. Think about conflict today. Cyber warfare, economic sanctions, fights with groups that aren't even countries. Where do you see his trinity, that push and pull of passion, chance, and reason, playing out in all of that? See, because he gave us a flexible framework instead of a rigid set of rules, Clausewitz didn't just teach us about Napoleon's wars, he gave us a way to understand our own.